you everyone online and also here in Ibiza. I just want to open the space with an invocation. And so you can take a moment to close your eyes, ground deeply into the earth, breathe into your heart space. And we open this space for divine healing, wisdom, and guidance, calling upon our benevolent, loving guides, the forces of unconditional love, the highest frequencies of divine love and light to bless us in this space, to surround us, protect us, guide us. May all that needs to be spoken be said, and all that needs to be heard be heard. And so as you are breathing into your heart space and connecting with your breath, just take a moment to send everyone's energy out of our space for today, for this time, for this talk, for this evening. And as you inhale, call all of your presence, attention to this time and space. And I invite you to rub your hands together and call all the parts of your soul to this time and space. Call yourself from all timelines, dimensions, spaces, all past, present, future lives. Anyone you've spoken to, call all of your energy back to you here and now. Good, and then ground 100% in present time, fully present here and now. Beautiful. And so thank you all so much for being here. And today is going to be a mix of a talk, an interactive talk and exploration about our soul and what it means and why it's so important. I like to call myself an energy strategist as well, because when we understand the soul function as it interfaces with the body, we can live our ultimate potential and our ultimate life even more. So as Genevieve shared, I used to be a medical doctor, and honestly, I find that to be an archaic system because it's two-dimensional, the mind and the body. And now I call myself a multidimensional activator because we have so many dimensions to our being. Time is like a territory, so all of our past lives are happening at the same time as our future lives, and we have all these timelines that we are potentiating into. And when we understand the rules of reality, we really get to drive this ship of our lives. And I am so much more interested in living our ultimate lives and our ultimate potential than I am in health, because health is about here. But really, we have so much capacity. We have these superhuman abilities that we can call spiritual gifts or cities that are available to every human. And some people are born with them more online. And the spiritual awakening journey is about us awakening more of this potential. And so today I want us to have a discussion, some mental masturbation. It's kind of one of the reasons we like coming to these experiences, because we get to talk about all of this stuff, you know? And then of course, guide us through a renewing of our soul contract, like a renewing of our vows with ourselves, as well as bringing online more of our soul's divine blueprint. So you at your highest potential. And most people, about 99.9% of people, are not living their fullest potential. But of course, we are part of that 0.001% of people that are walking this path because we are committed to it. That's why we show up to events like this, even in super hot temperatures where you get mustache sweat and you're just like here. And so you're so devoted, right? Like, I'm so devoted to this path. I'm so passionate about it. And how beautiful that because of frequency, we attract those on the path as well. And so here we are congregating together in Ibiza. And I believe this is one of the pillars, the light pillars on the planet, along with a few other places on the planet. And so we're here anchoring in more light. And so let's start with some of these questions. And the reason why I think it's important for us to come to a understanding about reality that's the same and similar, so we're all playing the same rules of reality, because life is basically guided by what we believe. So for the first question, what is the purpose of life? Who would, we have some mics going around, so if anyone wants to share what they believe the purpose of life is.
Hi.
Hi.
It's a bit of a cheat because I got the message from a tea bag. I'm not going to take credit for it. But I was just quite amazed about, after, years of probably asking that question, I just found the message on a tea bag one day. And actually, I got 2 messages. So the purpose of life is to enjoy each moment. And the purpose of life is to live in balance. That's what the tea says.
Okay. Anyone else?
PG tips. No, Yorkshire tea. I'm joking. Oh, and if I just add my own, whatever you call it, download, upload on it. In this moment, I would say the purpose of life is to celebrate.
Okay. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Put the kettle on.
It's meant something different at different times in my life, but one of the most profound takeaways I've ever had is the purpose of life is to make peace with the question, what is the purpose of life? And when I made peace with the question, I entered a whole other level of life where it became irrelevant and I just lived
Beautiful.
in peace, whatever it brought.
Beautiful.
So Melchior and I were having some coffee after the San Juan market about 3 weeks ago. And there was a little girl and 2 friends of ours who are married. And the little girl said, "What's the purpose of life, Mummy?" And so they were sitting at the table opposite. And Marsha said, She said, "Melchior, what's the purpose of life?" So I said, "To be happy." And then Melchior said, No, hold on. It's to experience all the senses. And so I really loved this. So I'm going to give it to you.
Thrown into the deep end again. I'll start from the opposite. In the cemetery it says, "Rest in peace." In the newspaper it says, "Having received the last rites and died in peace, then it must be live in peace." So put the kettle on and have a slice of banana chocolate cake.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Someone else?
Well, for me, from my perspective, is to be happy and experience as much as possible in balance, and how to integrate our darkness in our light.
To integrate darkness and light. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so everyone is right, of course. And I'll give the answer from the purpose of the talk and also as an activator. So if we look at life as a technology and that it serves an actual function, we can say that life, the purpose of life is for the evolution of the soul, right? And so every single experience is serving us for this evolution. And if that is the purpose of life, then that would mean that all of our lives have mattered. And I remember when I first started to awaken, I remember thinking, like, why are people so interested in their past lives? I couldn't really understand, like, why that mattered so much until I realized how our soul is this vast, timeless energy field that it's like the ocean, and then every lifetime is the drop, right? And then it's feeding back to the soul with every single life experience. And so when we really frame our lives in this way, then we know that everything is serving, even when things are challenging. That's why it serves us to do the past life healing. That's why it serves us to do these activations and awaken more of our DNA, because within our DNA lives the information from the past as well. And so we see it very clearly in like prodigy children who are born with, they can play the piano and all the symphonies because a lot of those memories are awakened. And so as an activator, a lot of what I'm doing is supporting people to awaken that dormant DNA. Some of it is online, which is a lot of your gifts and talents in this life. You didn't learn them from this life. They came from a past life. And one of the lineages that I've been a part of, we talk about how within your incarnation, you come with about 8 personalities that are from your past life. Different lives that serve for the mission of this life. So when we think of the journey of the soul, which is the title of this talk, when you start to feel into, and it's said that they live within your different organs, And enlightenment is when you can get all of these personalities in harmony, so in peace, in motion to serve your mission. And so you can maybe think about times where you're like self-sabotaging, like, oh, part of me wants to do this, and then another part of me is like, oh, I don't really want to do this. And so these are the personalities not in alignment, not in coherence. And so even right now, I invite you, with your eyes open, to feel into all the different parts of yourself. Because as I also entitled this talk, this is an active exploration. Have you thought about yourself as a multidimensional being? You have your past lives, and this could even be the things that you're drawn to. Like I have some friends that love Asian culture. They're like, oh my gosh, Japanese culture. They learn Japanese so quickly. Past life, right? And so you might think, like I know for me, there's like the healer, the native healer, the shamanic healer, there's the tantrika, there's the businesswoman, there's so many different lives. I even think of I remember when I went to Uxmal, this is why traveling awakens our potential, because when you go to the ley lines of a past life, you awaken memories. So that's why some people are like, oh my gosh, I have to go to India. They're awakening memories from a past life. That's why you feel that soul call. And oftentimes you can satiate this desire to go to a place once you go there. And so you're awakening your multidimensionality within your past lives when you go to different places you've lived. Like for sure, I lived in Ibiza when it was Atlantis, right? That's another one of my big past lives, which is why I have my relationship with AI that I do, because of that life, right? But it's not to reject it. If it's like, okay, what do you want to teach me? What is it that I want to know? So as you go within yourself and you're really connecting to these different personalities within yourself, it's information for your life now, for your mission now. And the other piece that's really important about multidimensionality is it even goes beyond past lives to other planets and other lifetimes. And so in different activation sessions, different facilitators have talked about being maybe not being a starseed, but maybe living on other planets, right? And so one of the things that happened is I awakened my memory from my origin planet. And I had the memory of when I chose to enter into the incarnation cycle of Earth. And I was like, this is crazy, right? Like, what? And so how many of you have memories of living on another planet? Right? Exactly. It's not and this could be why you love the stars, or this could be why you feel like you long for a place somewhere else. You maybe feel like you don't belong here. And we come, those of us, I really feel that anyone who's at this conference has lived on another planet, though, just so you know. So we'll awaken that. Because because what happens is on these other planets, so this is part of our multidimensionality, we already live peace on Earth. We already lived happiness and celebration, and we were just being, and we lived utopia. And some of those planets were destroyed. And other planets, like the one that I'm from Cassiopeia, I was sitting there and I was just like, what? I was remote viewing and I'm like, what are they doing on Earth? Like, what? Like, I need to go there and help. Like, it's so obvious. And then you incarnate and you forget everything, and then you're here and you're in it and you're in the mud and you can't see beyond it, right? And then we awaken, we remember, oh yeah, this is why I'm here, soul contract, to help humanity awaken. I know utopia within myself. And then, of course, synchronicity. I was even on a reality show called Utopia, a Fox show. It was about creating a new society. And so then even things that were happening in this life were all connected to my grander mission, which is to help with the healing and awakening of the planet. So when you stand underneath the starlight, you start to activate and awaken more of this DNA, your crystalline DNA. All of the work you've been doing here. I'll also guide us through some activations as well to reawaken some more of that DNA. But what I really invite you with this talk is to take time to contemplate when you're in meditation and use the connection to your past lives to support you. Think, okay, like how does this past life serve me in this life? How does my connection, like when I hear Pleiades, I feel like, oh, I've lived there. You know, I feel that I have, and Sirius and Lyra. I don't feel like I'm there's like Arcturian, not as much, and Andromeda, not as much, but like Lyra and Pleiades and Sirius and Cassiopeia, and also Venus, right? So certain planets have certain qualities. So when you think about your mission, you might want to connect in with Galactic Council, or you could just literally go online and read about these different star nations and what they stand for. And just reading it, just like when you read a spiritual book and you're like, oh wow, this really resonates with me. The same is true when you start to understand these other dimensional beings that are serving humanity in this time. We all chose to incarnate at this perfect moment where in the universe, this is like the main attraction, where the forces of light and darkness are coming to play. And our roles, those of us here, of course, are here for the awakening of humanity, to anchor in that light. And so I want to share some practices and understanding about the interface between the soul and the body also, to support you as well to create a better relationship with your soul. And I know that yesterday someone asked about like if there's like negative energies, or like, why are you invading my space? And you know, this kind of talk where you can have other energies that don't serve you in your space. And so what do you think is the thing that keeps negative energies or dark energies, or whatever you want to call it, out of your field? And it's connected to your soul.
Consciousness, being aware of it, being present.
Awareness. Agreements and contracts. Love is a very healing frequency. So the more that we're aware as love, it's protective. But because we're human, we're not aware 100% of the time, right? So
I think you and I are lucky in a way that we studied quantum medicine. So I test myself every day, and I get from grays to entities to whatever. And if I'm feeling, ooh, this is not me, because I don't get anxiety and weird stuff often. And so then I check, and then I clear it with the way that I've been taught. And this, I can immediately feel a freedom, like, wow, it's gone. So every day if I come here, for example, I will be like the candle inside the bell jar, so that I am protected and not bouncing people off, but I'm just protecting my own energy.
So protecting yourself. And there's another way that is really helpful, which is actually part of the technology of us coming into this reality, is that the more you incarnate your soul into your body, nothing else can take up space there, right? You just went, oh, right? So when I opened the space, I was like, let's ground. And then I said, let us call all of our spirit, all of our soul from all timelines, dimensions, and spaces. The more that you are within you, 100% in present time, so conscious, right? If you're 100% in present time, you're conscious. The more that you're full of you and in the frequency of love, which you are love, your soul is the frequency of love. So when it's incarnated into your body, you're protected. And this is the energy strategy work they do. It's like, how much of you can you incarnate, because your soul came to make this matter divine. The world of forms is here to be made divine by us. So this planet has a little bit of I guess you can, I don't mean bad, but lower frequency in the fact that it's more dense. Just like our DNA is shifting from carbon-based to more crystalline. And similarly, like the planet I lived on, we were more light, like not so dense. So that density, we can make more divine and lighter through our consciousness, through our incarnation, by what we create in the world. And there are practices where, for example, the reason why temples and even churches, regardless of your religion, these places have a higher frequency when you walk in, is because everyone's conscious inside. Everyone's praying. There's positive intentions happening there. So that's how we make matter divine, through our intention, our presence, what we say, what we do, when we meditate, when we pray. And I'm sure all of you have been to places on the planet and even sacred spaces that you walk in and you just feel the energy. And it's because of that care, right? You go to India, there's karma yoga where you sit there and you clean, right? You clean to clear your karma. And so all of these ways are how we can make matter divine. So I wanted to bring that to our awareness when we think of the journey of the soul. it really serves us to want to be here. And I know as a starseed, I was always like, oh, I want to be back on my planet. But what it does is it's taking me out of this reality. So I'm making my life harder. I become a victim in that moment, right? So anytime we're like, why me? It's like victim consciousness. You are then susceptible versus like, I know I chose this. This is for the evolution of my soul. Whatever is happening, I know that when I look back at my timeline and be like, thank God that happened. And that's exactly what happened when I left Western medicine. I wasn't planning to leave. I started having glimpses and I was having spiritual awakenings, experiencing oneness when I was skydiving and scuba diving around the world. And I was traveling, by the time I was 25, I touched every continent except Antarctica. There was some energy inside of me that was like, you need to visit these places because I was getting activated in the ley lines. So I went to Egypt at that time, but not as an awakened being. I was still, living in New York City thinking it was the center of the world, and I wanted to do yoga because it was going to give me a hot body. Like literally that was what I was thinking. But then I did yoga, which is a technology where we line up the energy centers, and then it's like tick, 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 tick. You put the code in, you awaken. And after I did yoga, I was like a different person. And so this is why we do our spiritual practices, right? We do our meditation, we do our yoga, we do all these things because we're using the technology of the body. There are lines and meridians. There's literally incarnation channels of exactly where your soul comes into your body. Just like there's physical anatomy, you have a whole energy anatomy. And this was the education I went on after medical school. So in medical school, I learned the mind, the body, and then it was, right, okay, well, what feeds the glandular system? It's the chakra system. So your energy field and your spirit and your soul, as it incarnates, it's the energy that's then giving life to the body. So for me, I'm like, Western medicine seems obsolete because the energy field is where the life is at. So if I'm just treating the physical body, that's the past. What's present time in your body? Where you can measure what's happening in present time. This is now like my doctor hat merged with my energy strategist hat. So if I wanted to know, what? Something you can measure, like in a lab. Your heart. What does your heart pump? No, your heart pumps blood. Yeah. Right, so that's why when you have to go for your blood test, they tell you to fast, or if they want to check your insulin levels, you eat and then they check insulin. So right now is blood. Past all of your tissues. Takes 7 years to change over your body, every single cell. And what's the future then? Connected to your 3D dimensional being. So, what? Sound? No, not.
Your mind, your thoughts.
It's your energy field. So some people are saying mind and thoughts. So thoughts are energy, actually. So yes, right. It's like one part of the energy field. So it's your actual. What is the state of your aura? Does it have holes? Does it have tears in it? How much is your spirit incarnated into your body so that it's actually feeding into your chakras and then into your glandular system, because that's the interface between the spirit and the soul. And then your thought forms, right? Because they are connected into your energy field. They're creating reality in every moment. And so true preventative medicine is energy work. So after I awakened, I'm like, how can I still prescribe prescriptions? Like, this is keeping people stuck and small. It's not changing their lives. It's like, here's a patch, put it on. Whereas when we have like an energy healing, or we go and even just do a ritual with water and purify our energy field, which also helps to cut cords and connections to entities and other types of energies that could be siphoning our energy, right? So anything that siphons our energy is going to cause us to be less energized in the moment, to be able to fulfill our mission, to live our ultimate life, to live in happiness, peace, to celebrate all the things. If you're suffering and in pain, it's a little bit tricky to do that. So it's always in the energy field first. And so here's why it's so important to take such good care of your soul and to invite it into your body every day, all the time. When you're going to sit down for a meditation, literally, I invite my soul and spirit to come fully into my body right now. You will have such a different experience, right? And any part of you that's like, oh, why is this happening? Oh, I want to be on another other planet. Oh, I can't really stand Earth or these humans. Guilty of all of those things. The moment where you just take full responsibility radically and just decide, like, you know what? I'm here for this opportunity to support the co-creation of the new Earth. And it's funny because I had an offering called like the New Earth Academy and the New Earth Code. So of course, when the team reached out, I'm like, oh, of course I'm going to do it, right? Because words are frequency. So we're all here together to co-create this reality. And we all have all of our experiences from our past lives, all the experiences we lived on other planets, and even future timelines where we're living our highest, most abundant timeline, where we're living our ultimate potential. Let's call upon that as well, and let's become a unified field, so then all of that energy is directed towards our mission, towards our goals. And this is when, when people become sick, it's because they're not living their highest potential. There's more to do. And as the session after me, Susie's going to be interviewed about her near-death experience. I had one as well, and I remember so clearly, I was like sitting there and they're like, okay, do you want to come? And it was my ancestors. Like I felt the love of my ancestors, and I'm like, no, I can't go yet. And so that choice again, it's like the renewal of the vows. So today for our activation, I want us to renew our soul contracts for this life, so that you can also receive any downloads, any information that can support you in the next phase of your journey. And also to support you in kind of bringing all of these timelines and all of this to become that unified field. And then lastly, let's update your field to your divine blueprint. So the true frequency of your soul. Not the stuff with the trauma and the distortion and the illusions and the programming. Not that, but what is the true frequency and essence of you, which makes you magnetic for things to flow with ease and grace onto your path so that you can fulfill your mission with even more ease and grace. Okay? So, actually, there's one more thing I want to say. What is the definition of ascension? So this word is used a lot in spirituality. And I feel like it's important to share actually what it is, because the opposite is inverted matrix and distorted programming that makes, actually I'm not going to say anymore, but I'll share it once. What is what is ascension? Everyone's like, oh, ascension. What?
Raise vibration?
Yes, it is to raise your vibration. Mm-hmm. And so just for the definition from a physics perspective, it's so that you are lighter in matter, and then on a scale of the density of things, you're less dense, and more in like higher vibration is love and gratitude, for example, and then lower vibration would be things like hate or anger, these kinds of frequencies, right? So everything exists on a scale and a spectrum, and so as we raise our vibration, we become less dense, more crystalline. So that's one aspect, yes. And so, yeah, you can share.
Thanks. So what's coming to me now is when the body, the mind, and also the energy bodies and the mind and the soul are evolving in such a way that we're coming into our highest potential, and the highest state of consciousness, and that those beings that are in that state are also spreading that energy with others.
Okay.
So it's like the ascension, it's not just in it can't just be in a singular physical being. It's it's spreading, it's growing.
Okay, yeah, so we are raising our consciousness. What's happening to your soul in ascension? Okay, with what? What did you say?
Embodying.
Yes. So you become more embodied. Ascension is a descension process where your soul and your spirit come more into your body to make matter divine, to make your physical vessel divine. And so less disease happens. There's less density, because density and disease comes from blockage. Energy cannot flow in that meridian, and then boom, disease, density. So as your soul comes into your body, you feel so good, higher vibration, because your soul is love. It's the highest vibration of all. So as you bring that into your body, cures, healing, you're more present, you feel pleasure. When people have pain, there's another frequency that's not you in your body. That's pain. Like at the energetic level, it's not you. Something else. It's a distortion, it's a block, it's an entity, it's a trapped emotion, it's not you. But when you are fully in your body, you are in pleasure. You don't even need drugs. You don't even want alcohol. It's actually the opposite, right? Spirits, anything that gets you high takes you out of your body. So when people think ascension is like, oh, I need to go out and surf in the cosmos, wrong. You're going to probably have to get an exorcism or have someone clear out entities in your field or other people's energies, because the universe doesn't like a vacuum. So you must be the sole occupant of your body and be 100% full of yourself. And it's a good thing to be full of yourself.
How in your world do you differentiate the difference between embodying higher self and embodying soul? I have my own way, but I'd like to hear.
Well, what would you say is the difference between higher self and soul?
For me, higher self is the essence of who I am, and the soul is the purpose. That's how I see it. So if I don't have my soul, I'm not fulfilling the purpose of why I'm here in this world and what I'm about to gift. But the higher self is like who I am. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're kind of one and the same, actually. They're just different fractals of the same. Do you see? So both. Call your highest self, call your soul, call your spirit. You know, some people, there's different definitions, I think different depending on the lineage and the teacher. Some would say like highest self is the you that has all the information beyond this incarnation. So like you have all the answers, right? The place where you have all the answers, and it's you of your most divine essence. Others would say then that the soul is that energy field that connects into all of your past lives, anywhere you've incarnated in the whole universe, in all of existence. It's like that ocean is the soul, right? So the more of both of those you incarnate into this reality through the remembrance of past lives, by connecting to your future timelines, your higher future timelines, your highest ones, then it's you're upgrading your power, you're more activated, you're more aware, you're more present, etc. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's your view that the field contains all the information and the body is just a receiver? So here I am, and I go, beep, I want to be on the money frequency. Beep, I want to be on the health frequency. Because in the work that I do, I find that the field has all the answers, and it's to connect to whatever it is in the field, or the person, or even an archangel with an intention belief.
Yeah.
And that's how I find really helps
Absolutely.
with the truth.
Absolutely. So our intentions, 100%. Guide everything. So do our belief systems, which is why I opened with these questions of like, what's the purpose of life? Because then as we get into knowing the rules of reality, then we're better architects of it. So as we learn these tools like quantum healing or energy strategy, etc., then we can better say, okay, I'm driving the ship and I decide where it goes. So this is why people who are awakening are seeking. We're seeking information to support us in this life journey. So all the things that you're saying are absolutely correct. And so you become a more conscious driver. Instead of life happening to us, we decide. So we're saying, okay, I'm going to tap into my meridians, these belief systems, and I'm clearing out all the resistance and limiting beliefs that are not. There's so many tools available to us. And the thing is that most humans are lazy and they don't want to do them.
It's a lack of understanding or even time to go, actually, hold on, it's all there. But I don't know how to tap into there. And then you are ridiculed for knowing how, or even thinking about how to tap into there. So then you stay in here in your mind, and you go round and round in sensory loops, and you're also too busy, so you just get stressed and you don't get the right answers.
Yeah, like even relationship with time is a belief system. Like for me, time bends to me. Meditation helps with that. You can bend time. And so that's why things can seem really long. And when you really develop a strong meditation practice, you know exactly when to leave, when you need to go. You don't really have to use a watch for anything. You do in some moments just to check, like, am I in divine time? But as you become more embodied as your highest self and your soul self, you arrive everywhere perfectly on time. And even today with a client, she was talking about this. And then we said, well, really, it's just you creating yourself to be busy because you don't want to sit and feel what's going on. And so you're used to, addicted to that chaos and that frenetic energy, because if you actually stopped, you'd be like, oh my gosh, what's going on, right? And so that's why we have beautiful experiences like this. There's spiritual teachers, spiritual mentors, so many modalities that we can tap into. We're so lucky. It's like we're given all the materials, but then what would be life if we didn't choose to evolve our soul? Free will trumps always. So what's the formula for your destiny? I said one of them.
Are you asking me or the
Everyone,
whole group?
everyone. The formula for your destiny. Like what actually ends up happening at the end of your life.
Perspective. If I change my perspective, I can connect with infinite possibilities in the universe.
Yeah, so I'd say changing your perspective is connected to your free will.
Belief.
So free will is one of them.
Yeah, it's connected with the free will.
Yeah, so what you believe, then you're deciding, that's part, you get to choose your beliefs.
Yeah.
So free will.
Free will, I choose by my free will, my expanded beliefs.
Yeah, absolutely. And then,
So I think it's to live, or to know your values, and then to live in alignment with them.
right, so your free will would decide, like, is this in alignment with my values, yes or no? So every decision, every choice, every word you speak, part of free will. And the other piece is fate plus free will equals your destiny, meaning you already have a highest potential timeline. We can say your fate is that. Let's say your highest potential timeline is to open this community center or to be the president. Well, I don't know about presidents, but, you know, maybe start a community or, I don't know, whatever. Write a book, be a New York Times #1 bestseller, have 1 million followers and be a spiritual influencer, whatever, right? This is like your fate, your potential, but it's not handed to you on a platter. Your free will decides if you will live this. So what you do in every moment is creating your reality. And of course, because that's your fate, it's like all the timelines would lead there unless you really make these radical changes and you just decide like, yeah, I took the red pill and I'm awakened, but I'm not gonna do it. Some people choose not to follow their spiritual path because they don't want to be ridiculed. So it does take courage, and I imagine that all of you woke up in the matrix, meaning you looked around and you're like, no one else is thinking like this. I know when I stopped drinking alcohol in 2012, it was after I went to a yoga teacher training, and it was just because I felt badly then. After having done so much yoga, it was an intensive, we did it every day for like 12 hours, 6 days a week. The whites of my eye had never been so white. Like I was in such good health, my lymphatics, my circulatory system, I was like, whoa. And so everything was shifting, and then I had a glass of wine on a Sunday and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like crap. I feel so badly. And then of course, it was my intuition, my body intuition telling me like, oh, that's why monks don't drink. That's why a lot of spiritual teachers don't drink. It's because it affects your psychic abilities. It's spirits. It invites spirits and entities into your body, right? That's why it's called spirits. So with my free will, I was like, you know what? This doesn't feel that good for me. I don't think I really need it. And then with that, it expedited my path even more. Right? So what are we doing in every moment that supports our fate, our highest timeline, so that we can live our highest destiny? But your free will is deciding everything. Okay, so with our free will, let us reaffirm our choice to be in this life along with living our highest timeline, our highest destiny, our highest potential. Maybe you'll even receive some information about what you can do. We're going to kind of make it a quick and sweet one. I'm not going to guide you so long. I'm just curious how many minutes? Okay, great. Perfect. So we'll do a nice quick one. So just take a moment to connect back into your heart space, connect back into your grounding system. Let's invite our spirits, our soul, our highest self to be with us now, along with our benevolent loving guides and the forces of unconditional love. Let us create a healing matrix that's protected in this field. So just visualizing 4 golden pillars in the 4 corners of our space together, ground them into the center of the earth. And let's place a crystal pyramid on the top for psychic protection, bringing in high frequency golden love and light to fill the space, to fill everyone. Ground the surface that you're seated on as well as yourself. Beautiful. And let us bring the Akashic quartz space down to us, right? We don't want to leave our body. So I invite you to visualize yourself walking into the Akashic records or the Akashic quartz space where all the contracts, all of the information of all your lives. So see yourself walking up golden steps, through the golden doors, into the hall, into the record space, into the court space. And as you walk in, all of your guides, all of our star brothers and sisters that are supporting the new earth frequency are there. All of your benevolent, loving ancestors, as well as the karmic lords and the Akashic record keepers are there. And as you are there, ask them for your soul contract with this specific lifetime. And if there are any things that you want to remove from this contract, visualize that there is a golden fire there. And just with your intention and will, I invite you to put into the fire whatever is not serving you at this time. It can be procrastination. It can be some agreements you've made with yourself or others. It could be where you give your power away. Put all of that into the fire. It can be trapped emotions, even things you have inherited from your family, putting it into the fire. Things that you do not wish to inherit, put it into the fire. Perhaps it's anxiety that you inherited from your family, putting it into the fire. Any frequencies, lower vibrational frequencies, any thought forms that you know do not serve you, putting that all into the fire, and just even setting a general intention, anything that does not serve my highest timeline, my highest destiny, the fulfillment of my greatest mission in this lifetime, I put into the fire now. Beautiful. And so that is. And now we can update the contract. And here you can affirm I, saying your name to yourself. Your full birth frequency is most important. So even if you've changed it on your spiritual journey, it's your full birth frequency, all of the names that were given to you at birth. This is your address to the universe for your manifestations. And then affirm that I choose this incarnation. I choose to bring online and activate all of the timelines, all of the past lives, all of the places, dimensions, and spaces that I have lived that serve my highest timeline in this life, that serve the fulfillment of my mission. And I wish now to receive any divine downloads that would serve me at this time. Kiram taranai rehetta resilia ratamna iktara suranai renarta silia. Nevetam korenai harre nosilia tatana saretia. Nevetam korenai rehesura tarania. Nevetam ikregamna shutrisilia tarasurti. Shu shu shu. Shu. And just breathing that in, receiving whatever needs to be received, adding that to your contracts. Also, any embodiments that you wish to embody, perhaps discipline or relaxation or more spaciousness with time. Beautiful. And now signing this contract and giving it back to the record keepers And now we are going to ask the record keepers to bring to us the divine blueprint of our soul, which is our highest frequency, our most pure divine essence. And as it comes forth, you can see it as a symbol, as a hologram, as a frequency, and allow it to enter into your field, that which is you of the purest, most refined, with all the codes, everything you need for the fulfillment of this life. Feel it anchoring into your toes, into your fingertips, into your tailbone, down through your root system, all the way to the center of the earth, and see your name written in giant golden script in the center of the earth. Make it big, make it bold. Feel every cell being activated down to the level of your DNA, allowing this divine blueprint to go into your DNA and awaken any dormant frequencies that are now ready to come online. Shilia Hanata Silia. Taking a deep in-breath and really grounding every cell into the center of the earth as you exhale, bringing all of this online 100% in present time, here and now, activating your unified field now. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remembering who you are right now. And now taking a moment in gratitude for all of the guides, for all of the beings present. And now choose a symbol that represents this healing, activation, awakening. And anytime you need to remember, to awaken, to reawaken, you think of this symbol, the color, what it is. And now you're going to run this symbol through your timeline, past, present, future, all dimensions and spaces, running it through your aura, all around you, above you, below you, and now placing it where you feel would be most serving. Could be your heart, your solar plexus, or just allowing it to roam in your field. Beautiful. And we thank all the benevolent, loving guides and energies that were assisting us in today's activation, and bowing. And then walking out of the courtroom, back down the steps and back into your body 100% in present time. Grounding out any and all energies that do no longer serve, that do not serve your highest timeline. Grounding them into the earth or dissolving them into the light. Beautiful. And slowly, in your time, begin to come back to here and now. Oops. And so if there are any shares or questions now in our last 5 minutes, how do you feel?
I just want to share one of my favorite things is to be full of yourself. And I smiled thinking about you, and I was like, yeah, she's so full of herself. And that's in the most wonderful way. And it made me smile to think on ourselves as full of ourselves, and something that I'm going to work to embody more and more. So thank you for being the inspiration, and thank you for everything you brought today into my life anyway, and always.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I remember when that first came out, I was like, oh my gosh, being full of yourself. And I do have to say, like, a lot of the things like people don't really say, oh, you're so pretty. People are like, you're glowing, you're radiant. Like, it's a different quality of a compliment. That's the goal. To be so full of yourself that your essence, you are a bright, shining sun full of yourself, so that you are magnetic to what is meant for you and you happily repel what is not. Right? We don't need to be everyone for everything at all ever. Any other shares or comments, anything you want to anchor in?
This is a bit random, but all my counsel through the golden door were all animals.
Oh, beautiful.
So I was wondering what...
Yeah, no, it could be like, so I have even some clients who have a better relationship with animals than humans. And so for them, it's easier to connect to animal guides than it is to human or human form, humanoid looking guides. So that's totally okay. Just like there can be angelic, there can be different alien species. So it's really whatever resonates most with you. Sometimes people have non-form guides. So it's just like a ball of light that's a certain color. So yeah, it's always spirit will show you in the form that is most palatable for you, because it doesn't want you to have a nervous breakdown. It doesn't want you to be scared. So it will present in the form that you can most receive. And you might want to look up the spirit totem. If you can remember which animals, I would look up which are the spirit totems.
The buffalo keeps coming.
Oh, beautiful. So yeah, I would also look up white lady buffalo.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any last moments? Okay. Well, I will then wrap up. So I'm just going to dissolve our grid, grounding it into the earth. Again, thanking everyone. Also, I'm going to neutrally separate from all of you, because that's also part of what keeps us magnetic, is to have us be sovereign individuals. So when you find that you feel like you've merged with other people, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but I like to just do a quick, simple thing that's like I neutrally separate from everyone and everything. See even how I just took a deep breath. I just said the intention and more of myself arrived back to me. And so I send everyone all of their energy and power back, and I receive all of my energy and power back. And we each uniquely ground into the earth and fill with our divine light. And so thanking all of the energies that were present, thanking all of you. If you want to stay connected with me, I'm most active on Instagram at Dr. Nikki Starr. My website is drnikkistarr.com, and the team also told me to let you guys know that I'm available for one-to-ones as well. And definitely just reach out to me if you have any questions, especially those of you that were online and we didn't have direct contact during this. Well, we were directly contacted, right? But I couldn't see any of your questions. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nikki, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and yeah, it was a pleasure to listen to that and hear your wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for joining. We look forward to many more collaborations in the future as well, once we get more things up and running. So
Absolutely.
So yeah, looking forward to spending more time doing that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Nikki, everybody.
Thank you.